Well, good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. We are going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together in a full face makeup tutorial. And we're going to work on some beauty on the outside and also some beauty on the inside. So my name is Wendy and I have been playing with makeup for a very long time. And I have had a very busy week. Why, do you ask? I'm so glad you asked. Let me tell you, because Color Me James, as you can see right there, has finally launched. So I've got the paperback version and then also the spiral bound version. Still working on the ebook, but that's coming. So yay, bring on season 3. That's going to start on March 6th. So our easy makeup theme for today is going to be, can I pull off a romantic red and pink Valentine look at any age? So let's see how that works. So go ahead and grab your makeup, your palettes, your brushes, some false lashes, and then get back here and let's get going. A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. Oh, I forget that I shortened that. Okay. So let's look at our foundation verse for this podcast, and that is going to be Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And then last week we were working on Ephesians. And so I did not do a very diligent job with that as I was working so hard to get Color Me James ready for you. So we're going to continue to work on that verse this week. So finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. And that's Ephesians 6, 10, and 11. So let's get back over here. And I know I spoke just a minute ago about Color Me James, so I want to give you just a little bit of a peek. So this is what you got here. So this is Color Me James. That QR code will take you straight there. But if you go over to the website, a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com, you'll see it right there on the landing page. In my personal opinion, I would get the spiral version just because it'll lay open nice and flat for you. But get the one that you feel would be best for you. Okay, so what have we got now? We have got, oh yes, let me not forget this. All the products that are used during the makeup tutorial today can be found on the website. So same link will get you there. So a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com. You can use any palette that you want with this look today. You could do this with any color that you want. Just interchange the light for the light, a dark for the dark, a medium for a medium, and then also a topper. You're going to need a sparkly, glittery topper too. But anyways, you're going to just interchange those with what other color. You could do this with all greens. You could do this with pinks instead of with the red. So many choices, so many palettes. Even with this one palette, we're going to be using the Festival and then also Culture 2 today. So I know the picture just has the one, but we're going to use the Festival and then also the Culture 2 palette. So just because I liked the depth of one of the colors in the Culture 2. So anyways, get over there, interchange, mix and match. Give me a picture in one of the comments on one of the social media platforms and let me see what you did with it because I would love to see that. So let us get going with what we got happening today. So we're going to start out by getting our foundation ready to go. So we're going to start out with the Urban Decay. This is the All-Nighter Primer. We're just going to do one pump there. Get that between our fingers. This is going to help our foundation to wear better, to last longer, as well as minimize fine lines and wrinkles and pores if you have that going on. If you ever experience foundation moving, this will help with that. You'll notice that it will not do that separation thing. And I can hear y'all dinging in. I'm so sorry. And you know what? I didn't greet you with hello beautiful today. So hello beautiful. Let me get the chat going on. There we go. So go ahead and give me a shout out and let me know where you are coming from. I can see some of you Texans on there already, but I know we usually have some from some other places. So now we're going to also prime our eyes. So this is the Eye Prep Eye Prime Eye Primer. We're going to be playing with pink and red today. So we're going to want just a little tiny of that. And let's just get that going so that our colors will be true to themselves on our eyes today. I just love a good red eye. And today is definitely going to be that. We're actually using 2 shades of red today. So that's going to make that super fun. And let's go ahead and so now we look a little crazy, but hang in there. Okay, so we're gonna move to our concealer now. This is our Bye Bye Under Eye from It Cosmetics. I am the shade 11 Light Nude. Go and get yourself matched though. There's testers of these at Ulta. And we're just going to use, everything's so cold because it is cold here, but we're just going to use a little ribbon of that. I know you people up north and in other countries that are experiencing real cold, like minus freezing, are probably mocking me right now. But for Texas, this neck of the woods, it's very cold. Okay, so concealer. Wherever you have something you don't want in color. So this could be darkness, purple in here under the eye. It could be redness. I'm going to use it for a little bit of all of that. We're just going to kind of stick that big picture. We're going to let it warm up to our body temperature just a little bit while we look like a psycho. All right. So I hope you all had a great week this last week. Today is the 13th of February. So, that is not a special day to me anymore since I lost my husband. I know it is a special day for all of you, so I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day tomorrow. So now that our concealer has warmed up a little bit, we're going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is a JP 102 flat foundation brush. And let's just blend that out. Going to get that right in and around that eye socket there. And then I'm going to use it to blend onto the cheek to reduce the redness that I have happening here. So you can see we went from psycho to not so psycho. There you go. I told you. Trust the process. Right up under that eye. And then blend that out. There you go. All right. So today we're going to be using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. This is a full coverage foundation. This brush works beautifully with it. So we're going to do that. It doesn't take a whole lot of this foundation. I know per ounce, it's kind of smaller than some because it doesn't take much. So while this comes out and it's kind of creamy looking, it's not, because I have combo skin, this is not an oily foundation. And I really feel like you could pretty much use this on every skin type. I think it has benefits to everybody. So we're just going to tap that. This does not dry down super fast, so we're just going to tap that where we want it to be, and then we will blend it out. Making sure that we blend under that neckline there and up into that concealer. There we go. Making sure we get it around our lips. This is going to help your lipstick not to bleed out, help your eyeliner to stay in place a little bit better. I like the edge of this because it really gets around that nose nicely. Gonna get that around the brow there. Okay. Now we have an even color surface that we can play with. So we are going to set our foundation now. And there we go. I am going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the I Am Magic Setting Powder. This is the shade White Sands. And I am almost out of this. So we are going to do our best with making sure that we can actually set this. I think we're going to be fine. Okay, so I'm taking the JP 101. Oh, good morning. Good morning. And let's just We're going to put it in there, and then we're just going to tap it off a little. I like to start around the eye first. And then we're just going to work down the center. Making sure we set what we put underneath the chin as well. Oh, thank you for saying that. Do you know what we do not have? We do not have our verse scrolling across the bottom of our screen. Shame on me. There we go. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let's go back to the setting. And now all we have left is one area. Let me see if I can eke out just a little bit more of this. Yes, I know. I know. It's time. It's time. Okay, sometimes you have to get a little creative. What I just did, in case you're wanting to know, I took the lid off and I just tapped it off onto my desktop here and then just brushed it off. That's how to get every last drop out of this. Okay, and kind of speaking of that, because I know I have an extra one of these that we're going to use for a drawing. And so we have some exciting things getting ready to come up for that season 3 with the book of James. And I cannot wait to share some of that with you. So, like I said, the book is ready to go. So go ahead and get that. That way you can kind of glance through it and become familiar with it. And then on March 6th, we will begin working through that book of James and memorizing the book of James. I am so excited about that. It has always been something that I wanted to do, to memorize an entire book of the Bible, and I've not done anything to make that happen. So I am looking forward to sharing that time with you. So even if you don't have a goal of memorizing the entire book, I would encourage you to get the study guide, because it is definitely going to be something that is going to help you, because we're going to actually work through and study through it together. And I'm just so excited. Okay, so I have grabbed a dual-ended It Cosmetics brush. This end here will be the bronzer. This end will be the highlighter. We are going to grab our KVD contour palette. And this week I'm going to be in these two right here. I don't think I've actually used the middle ones very much. It's just a little too yellow for me. But you know, if that is great for you, yay. You just go after it. Okay, so I have got it on the flat side of the brush. We're going to go from the ear kind of almost to the middle of the eye in a circular-ish shape. Not really a U, but anyways, we're going to stay above that hollow of the cheek. We want to make sure we lift that up just a little bit. So we're just going to take that flat side and then we're going to work it up that temple. And same thing on the other side. And remember, I've got quite a few of you in here right now. So make sure that you ask your question on your whatever platform you're on, and I will do my best to get that asked and answered while we are all online, or I'll have to get with you afterwards and get that answered for you. Okay, so now we're going to switch to this one. We're going to move to the highlighter here, and because this is kind of small, I'm sort of using the side of that. We're going to go on the top of the cheek and then also beside the eye. And yes, I did realize that I got a little ahead of myself. So we're going to switch to the narrow side of the bronzer. And that's just going to go on that side there. We're going to go from the ear to about the corner of the mouth, right under that jawline. You're going to keep a neutral face so you can really catch that under edge. And then same side of the brush. We're going to go right alongside that nose from the inner eye all the way down to the tip. Well, I mean, it's not going on the tip, but we're going all the way down. This is going to help narrow that nose ever so slightly. And then the flat side, We're going to work it up here into that hairline. Okay, now back to the highlighter. And we're going to go straight down the center of the face. There you go. That is our highs and lows. So now we need to come back and add just a little bit of color in there. So I am going to grab my Juvia's Place. This is a volume 4. Lot going to be happening with the eyes and lips today, so we don't really need to add very much color to our cheeks. So we're going to go in this lighter one, and we're just going to grab a traditional blush brush, and we're just going to give a little bit of color between that bronzer and that highlighter. And then between the bronzer and the highlighter up on the temple as well. Give just a little bit of color up on that forehead. And whatever is left on your brush, you can catch the tip of your nose. There you go. So now we've got some shape and some color. So let us say our verse together, and then we will press on to the next. So finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. Ephesians 6, 10, and 11. All right, so lips. What we got going on today with our lips? Well, let me tell you, what would Valentine's Day be without a beautiful red lip? So we are going to be jumping in. I'm using the Revlon Color Stay, and this is red. Love the red of this because it pairs very nicely with the Ruby Woo from MAC. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so with this, we are going to line just outside of our lip area, give us a little extra real estate, and then we're going to fill that in with that Ruby Woo. Because it's part of their matte line, this wears well. So you may have to replace it a little bit in the center of your lips after you eat, but this thing will hang tough all day long. So let's start out with that V. Well, here we go. Just going to give a nice carved out Cupid's bow there. Then we're going to round that out to the outside corner. All right, and we're going to start in the center on the middle. That was a double middle. Anyways, right here. And then we're going to work that out to the outside corner. Now we want to make sure that you've got a nice shape, because once you get that Ruby Woo in there, that is going to be there. So take just a little bit of a step back, take a look at your shape, make sure you got both sides even, you like what's happening. Nice. We're going to take this and we're going to do just a little bit lighter pressure and come just to the inside of that line we just did. This one you can kind of sketch. This is just going to soften that line a little bit, and then it's also going to help your lipstick to wear longer. Yay! Okay, so this is the MAC. This is the Ruby Woo. Make sure I got, yes, MAC Ruby Woo. And now we're going to fill in the lines that we just created. So with this particular one, we're not doing ombre or anything. So you're going to go straight over that line that you just did for this beautiful Ruby Woo color. and then fill in the bottom. Man, that is such a gorgeous color. Nice. I love also how a nice red lipstick just really makes your smile look so much better. Okay, so now let's get into the eye look that we have going on today. So we're going to talk through the products that we'll be using, and then we'll actually get started. So the first thing is we're going to be in the festival. And in the festival, we're going to use a little of the Odogwu, and then Yuli, and then what is that called? Isafa, right here. Those are the three colors that we'll be using out of this palette. But then we're going to dive into the Culture of Two palette for just a little bit. And in this palette, we're going to be using Dashiki. So we've got 4 colors going on. Once we've got those on, then we're going to come in and do a cut crease with the, this is the Culture Duochrome Liquid Eyeshadow in Kente. And this will be how we'll accomplish that cut crease today. So excited about this. Let us just get into there. We are going to start out with a fluffy shadow brush. Here we go. This is a Morphe M433. And we're going to start out in the Odogwu, this right here. And we're just going to get it on that tip. Just swirl it right there on that tip, and that's going to go up here on your brow bone. We just need a little narrow strip of this. Don't go crazy. This is just going to give us a little bit of a sheer up here. Just a little tiny bit of a shimmer, but it's going to give us something to blend into that brow bone. All right. Now we're just going to go ahead and, well, we can't use Yuli ahead of time. Okay, so we're going to go into the Isafa. And with the Isafa, let's go ahead and do, this is a Morphe M506. This is just a, I don't know, general shower brush. Shower. Okay, so Isafa. And again, we're just going to be using the tip of that. And that is going to go from about 3/4 right here to the outside. We're going to take it sideways like that and just draw. We're not going to have it be too stark over here, but I do want a little bit of it going up. There we go. And we're going to come all the way up onto that eye socket bone. And let's just go ahead and bring it right here on the bottom, just to that inside. And then we're going to soften that just a little. There you go. Do that same thing on the other side. And then on the inside corner. And then just soften that. All right, we're going to go back to that first brush we were using. We're going to go back in that Odogwu, and we're just going to kind of fill in that space that we just made. And just blend that out. All right, so we're going to switch over to the Culture 2 palette, this right here, and we are going to be in Dashiki, and this is a Morphe M321. This is a little bit finer of a smudger. We're just going to use it on the tip on that dashiki and then tap it out. We don't want extra of this because that's going to fall out and that's going to make a disaster. Right here on the outside corner, that is just going to be adding a little intensity on that outside corner. Now I know, a lot of red happening, but hang in there. When we use our duochrome, this will soften it all just a little bit. Okay, same thing on the other side. You can see what that's like now. And we're just smudging and blending that in. You can see that beautiful intensity we now have on the outside corner. Now, for any fallout that you have, go ahead and grab you a nice fluffy brush, and we're just going to swish that away. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to do the under the eye area, and then we're going to come back in and give a little accent highlighter on the inside and then do that duochrome. So let's go ahead and grab... This is the Real Techniques. This is the number 87. It is a smudger, but it's a kind of a, what do you call it? Rectangle. Okay, so back to that Culture 2 palette. We're going to start out with a darker color on this. So we're going to go into that dashiki, and it's just going to go right on the tip of that. We're going to come around from the corner here and come in about a quarter of the way. And then just wrap it up into the upper. Same thing on the other side. And I'm just gonna pack a little more in here. That is so pretty. Okay, so we're going to use that same brush because you've already worked the powder off of that. We're going to go back into that Festival palette, and we're going to go back into the Izafa. And with the edge of that just on the tip, we're going to go from where we left off another third. Okay, same brush, go into that Odogwu and finish out that lower eye. And it does still have a little bit of the red on there, but that just helps kind of soften it soften it out and blend it out. Okay, so like the balance, the red and the red, yes, super awesome. We're gonna take our fluffy brush. We're just gonna fluff through what we just did. And now we're going to grab, let's do, this is a Morphe M124. And I like this one because it's very narrow. It's almost like using your finger without actually using your finger. So we're gonna go into the Yuli, this right here. And you're just gonna get it on one side. And pretty much it's kind of a tapping thing. And we're gonna get that right in the corner here. And that's just gonna lighten up that inside corner. Okay, so now for the fun part. Okay, so we're gonna grab our duochrome or whatever topper you've got. Now, if you don't have this, you could go ahead and use that Yuli, with that brush and accomplish just about the same thing. But man, you get some good shimmer with this duochrome. So we're gonna grab that duochrome. And we're going to put that right here on the inside. We're going to go up right about there, and we're going to go halfway across. Just give a nice clean line. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so let's do the other side. Going about halfway here. Okay, let's make sure I've got both sides even. Looks like I went a little farther with this one, so let me bring this one over just a smidge. Okay, so we're gonna let that, my dog got neutered this past week, and that banging that you're hearing is him with the cone of shame. Sorry about that. Okay, now we're gonna grab that killer liner. This is from Too Faced. We're gonna give a nice dark line on that outer half of that upper lid. Now remember, once you get your false lashes on, it's going to kind of temper this down just a smidge. Let me give a little sharpen to this. By and large, I don't really like sharpening pencils because I feel like every time you sharpen, you... Okay, that was fun. Okay, hang on just a sec. Okay, I don't know where that just went. Yeah, this would be why I don't like sharpened pencils, but I really like the way that this liner performs. So, Too Faced, if you're listening, could you make this in a twist up, in a mechanical, please? There we go. Okay. Now that we've got a nice point on here, we're gonna, where did I leave off? I think I left off, no, that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna go under the eye. We're gonna go from the outside corner just right in that lash line and just give us a little line. There you go. And today, I think on the outside corner, I'm going to go on that waterline just ever, not even a quarter of the way, just a little tiny bit. just to kind of really emphasize that outside corner. Man, I just love red. And if you have blue eyes, look what that does to your eyes. Eyes are just popping. Okay, so before we go on to finishing, I do notice that I could have gone up, as is the case normally with me. I could have gone up just a little bit with the Izafa, that red. So I'm going to just tap that a little tiny bit and just bring that up a little bit. There you go. If you've been with me for any length of time, you know I have a tendency to not go up. I think it's a childhood thing. All those times being told, you don't need that much color. And then we'll just blend that out. Okay, didn't even affect at all that cut crease that we were doing in there. Okay, yay! So now we're going to take our Too Faced Better Than Sex liner, and we are going to give ourselves a nice liner from corner to corner on the top there. So we're going to go just right here, bring that all the way in, and just a nice thin line. That's going to give us a little emphasis right there on the eye, and also help us when we get to our lashes. Okay, is anybody else singing Lady in Red in your head right now? I got a couple yeses straight out the chute. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to grab our Grande Lash Lift. We're going to go ahead and 1 press to turn it on, and then 2 press to turn it on. This is red or pink at the top. When that is ready to go, it will be white clear. So we're going to let that do its thing while we are doing our brows. So I am using the Bad Gal Bang Wild Plum Mascara for my brow product. Whatever it is that you're using for yours, go ahead and do that now. So this, when you have fashion color hair, sometimes you gotta be a little creative with the brows. So I'm just gonna grab this. I have used blue mascara in here before. This is the first time I've used Wild Plum. It works pretty good. And then it's also a brow setter. Oh yeah, I used a pink one before. I forgot who that was by. I think that's actually on my product list on the website if you want to see that one. But that pink mascara works great on brows. When you're using mascara, you're being very light touch and not touching your skin. You just want to touch the brow hairs. And the great thing about using a mascara, I think I may have already said this, sorry. But it does the brow setting for you. So once you get it there, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays. It's beautiful. You know what? That's a great question. If you had black hair, could you just use black mascara? Well, here's one issue. Most people who have black hair don't actually have black hair. So if you use a black mascara, it's probably going to be a little heavy. But you could most certainly try it and see how it works for you. But most people, like, we really sold very little actual black brow products. Okay, so now you can see that the tip of this is like a white clear. So we're going to do one eye at a time. So we're going to use that verse to kind of, so it's got these little teethies, and this is what's going to keep it from actually touching your skin. So you're literally going to push that hair up and sort of set it right there where your lash is meeting your skin. And this is going to curl your lashes just like how you curl your hair with a curling iron. So let's use that verse as our timer. Here we go. So finally be strong in the Lord. Hold on. And I think I'm mixing verse. And the power of his might, put on the whole armor of God. Here we go. Okay. Finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. And that's Ephesians 6:10 and 11. Okay, gonna get the outside corner. Here we go. Finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. Ephesians 6:10 and 11. And then in the middle, there you go. Finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. Ephesians 6:10 and 11. And now that we've got that side done, we're going to immediately, oh, you know what I didn't bring? I didn't bring my little mirror. Well, that's fun. Here we go. So we're going to mascara on that lash first. I'm going to go from edge to edge. We're just putting a little mascara so that our lashes blend in with the false lashes. Also to help you get a little more volume too. And I'm brushing back on those tips. Yeah, you can see how great that curls. That's nice. Okay, so we're going to cap that mascara back up and let's do the curling on the other side. Here we go. On the inside first. Finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. Ephesians 6:10 and 11. The outside. Finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. Ephesians 6:10 and 11. And then the center. Finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. Ephesians 6:10 and 11. There you go. Okay. Let me go ahead and turn that off because we are finished with that, capping that. And now let's go ahead and get a coat of mascara on that side. And again, sweeping back on those tips. All right. Now we're going to get our lower lashes. This should be interesting since I don't have my little mirror. We're going to fight through this together. You ready? Here we go. Lower lashes don't get false lashes, so make sure you cover them good. Sweeping under the tip on them as well. We're going all the way from root to tip on these. Okay. For what I can see, that looks good. Okay, let's go to the other side. Again, sweeping up under the tips. Okay. I figured that was bound to happen. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna do one little extra coat here. Wow. Okay. Nice. I don't know if you can fully see that shimmer, but that duochrome shadow is absolutely amazing. Okay, so now that we've got all that done, we're going to put on our false eyelashes, which is going to balance this out a little bit. I am using the Juvia's Place. This is the Zaria. And then we're also going to be using the Juvia's Place lash. This is the Nubian lash adhesive. So go ahead and grab your lash tools. There we go, right here. We're going to grab those lashes from the outside corner off that tray. Just set that down on the table or tray or whatever you got in front of you. If these are new lashes for you, you are going to trim these from the outside corner of the lash. So just kind of do a dry fit. I think it was 2 weeks ago, I did a tutorial on setting up and trimming new lashes. So you can go watch that if you'd like to see how that is done. And let's go ahead and get that adhesive on there. So we've got the lash, got the adhesive. This one has a brush on it. So you're going to first get it on the top of that lash, right there on that band. And then we're going to get it on the back side of that band. And last week, I felt like not enough adhesive got on here. So we're going to do one extra little thing here. I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to put a line on my lash line. There we go. And then we're going to grab the other lashes for the other side and we'll do the same thing over there. So we're going to go in here. It's going to go on the top of that lash band. You know, every time I try a new lash adhesive, I think to myself, you like the other one. Why do you keep switching? I think I just have to try new things. But I always end up back with tried and true faithful. Now I do see a couple things here that are going to become irritating. Okay, can you see it? Right here on this band, I've got these little things right here. Those are going to itch. So we're just going to trim those bad boys off. There we go. And then we don't have to worry about them. Okay, so we're also going to do a line of adhesive on this side. Just right on that eyeliner line. Okay. Now we're going to go back to the lash that we put the first adhesive on, and let's begin with that one. So we're going to start out by holding that lash right there in the center. I see that there's a stray little, there we go. And this lash, this is a flare. So this is more narrow. This is longer. So I know this is this one. Okay, so that's going to set down right there in that middle, right on that eyeliner line that you put. There you go. Oh yeah, that worked much better than last week. That was almost like a magnet. Do that again. Okay, and then we're just going to make sure that our lashes and these lashes are one and the same. Gonna make sure that inside corner is nice and snug. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to grab the other lash. There we go. Sorry, having grabbing problems. Okay. That's going to go right here in the center. Set that outside down. And catch that inside. Yeah, that is definitely the way to use that that liner. And then we're just going to make sure that we get those together. Everything's all in the same space. We're going to use the tip of that, work our lashes into those lashes. Nice. Okay, so you can see that kind of brings the whole look together and tones down that red just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. So I do notice that we have a little bit of whatever happening because we had so much red, which had fallout on it. So I'm going to grab my bullet and I'm going to grab my highlighter. And I'm just going to get it on one side, and we're going to use that to clean underneath the eye. And that's going to smooth out and clean up that outside line. There you go. Much, much, much better. Okay, so I also want to add just a tiny bit of glow on the top of my cheek. So I am going to grab the Heroin Glow 2. Heroin Glow 2. And this is the Juvia's Place. This is a nice kind of a shimmery gold. It's going to reflect nicely with that color that we had up here on the top, a dog blue, I believe. So we're going to get that right on the tip of that, and that's going to go on the top of the cheek and right beside the temple right here. Just going to give you that little bit of something extra. Can you see that? See that glow? And then we're going to do that same thing right here. I like to blend it out just a smidge up there. Okay, so now we have got a little bit of a cut crease going on, or I guess it'd be a mock cut crease, but we've got some shimmer happening up here. We got some beautiful red going with those beautiful lips. Now we don't want anything to go anywhere. We want it to stay just like this all day long. So we're going to grab our Juvia's Place, ready, set, sealed, and let's just give a nice finish. And I think this one is kind of a satin finish setting spray, so it's not really going to change anything that we've done so far. If you want a dewy finish, you could go ahead and grab a dewy setting spray. There's a nice one from Morphe. Urban Decay has a beautiful one. I'd probably actually recommend the Urban Decay one the best, but there you go for that. So let us go ahead and take a look at our verse again that we are working on this week. So finally, be strong in the Lord be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might, put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. Ephesians 6, 10, and 11. So that is what we are going to be working on. And then, like I said, we've got Color Me James is finished. So I wanted to kind of just walk you through what a week in Color Me James would look like. So we've got the cover. At the beginning of every week, you're going to have the Bible verse on that dark page, which is on the back of the coloring page. And then we've got, this is going to be how to use or what the planner features. And then we've got a welcome. It's going to tell you some information about memorizing scripture. And then we're going to jump into what we got. So So this is going to be where you get to set your spiritual goals for the year. This is a 48-week study, so not quite a year, but we'll have a few holidays where we won't be together. So it'll be about a year. And then we're going to take a look at the outline of the book of James for that 48-week. And then some tips. What are some things that you could do to help it be a little bit easier? That's not a good word. More effectively memorize scripture. There you go. That's a better choice of words. And then we're going to jump into what does a week look like? So you're going to have a map every week, what to do each different day. Could you do it all at once? Yes. Is that going to be the best way to immerse yourself into the book of James? Probably not. So it's mapped out by days of the week so that you've got a little activity, kind of directs you through how to use the guide. And then we're going to jump right into chapter observations. We've got a prayer journal. There is a gratitude journal. Then we're going to, what is that one there? I think that's Bible study applications. And then you're going to write your verse out every week because that is definitely one way, repetition. So if it's a shorter verse week, go ahead and write that out twice. There is a puzzle. We've got crossword puzzles. There are word searches, word scrambles, all kinds of fun things. So then you've got your coloring page, which is kind of what started me off on this whole journey of making this book for you. So go ahead and get your copy of that. And again, that is going to be at the website. There's 2 different versions of that. Let me go and change that up. There we go. 2 different versions of that are going to be available to you. There is a spiral bound version, and then there is also the traditional bound, which is going to be from Amazon. So either one of those ways, your preference. I believe the spiral bound is just a little bit more, but like I said previously, now that I've held both of them in my hand, I think that you're really going to enjoy the spiral bound version just a little bit more. So it's worth those couple extra bucks to get that particular one. So get that, go and get that ordered. They are printed specially for you, so it does take a minute for them to get to you. So go ahead and do it now so that you'll have it ready to go for our March 6th launch. Let me see what else I got going. Let's get that off there. We've done our verse. Okay, so this has been a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. It has been a delight to hang out with you here today. I look forward to seeing you throughout the week and on social media. And let me go ahead and say a blessing over to you today. We'll pray. Here we go. So the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. And that's Numbers 6:24-26. So let's go ahead and pray, and then we'll close. All right. It's almost ready to be a wrap. Here we go. Heavenly Father, I just thank you so much. Father, what a joy it is to be your vessel, your instrument, Father, in creating this book for our season 3. It has been such a delight to think about and pray about for each one of these beautiful women. And I just pray that you would help us to be diligent on the verse this week and getting ready in March when we step into the book of James. I pray that you would be with them throughout this week, Father, that you would help them to delight themselves in you, that we would be diligent in memorizing this verse. And I apologize that I did not do a great job last week, Father, that you would help me to be better this week, that we would hide your word in our heart, Father, that it would be ready and available and accessible to us at any given moment for ourselves and for the edification and correction and instruction for those around us. Father, I pray blessings this week on each one of these women. And until we meet again, amen. All right. It has been a wonderful time with you. I look forward to seeing you throughout this week on social media. And remember to like and subscribe on whatever platform that you're on. And until next Thursday, I love you.